We are the Constructicons!
Okay, here's a look at X-Transbots Scrapper in his Vehicle Construction Alt Mode. And as you can see, this is a really nice looking alt mode. They did a great job capturing the fusion between the cartoon and realistic, and the shape, sculpt, proportion with all the extra detail that they added looks really, really nice. I mean, they always do a great job with sculpting the figure, painting. They do a great job in robot mode, but I noticed that in alt mode, that's probably the best mode where you can appreciate all this extra detail that they put in, such as the light, the steering wheel, the seats, and all that stuff. So with all that said, now let's compare this with the animation model and see how well they captured the toon aesthetics. And you could see that they did a really nice job capturing the toon aesthetics in terms of the shape and proportion. Little things that I noticed was, kind of like this front. You could see it angles down, and then the arms on this shovel should be kind of lined up with it. So they did a nice job there, and I just point that out because the fans toys, that was a little off. There's a lot of things off with the fans toys and Mastermind Creations, but that's just, some little thing I'm pointing out, how well they do, capturing the sculpt and proportions. There are things that are off though, such as here you could see these forks on the shovel. There's 7 of them here when it should be 5, not 7, so that's not very toon accurate. And then the top canopy here, that's not really sculpted accurately. It should kind of have that, like upside down triangle shape. But, things, I always look to understand why. I mean, obviously it's due to the way they engineered the transformation and stuff. But, they did do a nice job. And then there was something else. I never really realized it, but, on Fans Toys, they have that kind of like protective shield in the front, I guess to prevent rocks from hitting them or something. So that is actually on the animation. So that's also missing. But, like I said, those are just little nitpicky things to be completely accurate. But you could see overall, they did a really nice job. And also from the back, let's take a look at the back, and you could see it's pretty much the same. Where the canopy is missing that triangle, but for the most part, yeah, I think they did a nice job. And again, they add all this extra detail that we'll go over, but yeah, they did a really nice job on this. So now let's zoom in and take a closer look and appreciate the detail. So first, I want to start off with the Decepticon logo that, I always feel is important to have in there. And you could see I did put it right in the middle to be very toon accurate. Unfortunately, this is the animator's fault. They just kind of said, oh, we need the Decepticon logo, so let's just stick it right in there without really thinking, this is a curved piece and, that's going to affect the shape of the Decepticon logo. And I'm saying all of that because if you see up here, X-Transbots sculpted in a little slot for the Decepticon logo. And you could look at this 2 ways. You could say, oh, they put a spot for the Decepticon logo, but they put it in the wrong place it's supposed to be in the mirror. Or you can say that, hey, look at this. This was really smart as designers. They realized all the problems I pointed out here and said, well, how about if we fix that which is what you do in product design, fixing things, and say, hey, let's put it up here on the top where it has this nice flat surface. So now you can have the Decepticon symbol nice and flat instead of all bent and curved. So just pointing that out, they put a lot of thought into everything. So it looks really nice. And I'm not sure what these things are on the side, but you know, it is extra detail. But here, I don't want to pick on fans' toys, but you could see this shovel bucket cleans up really nice because they did not, you know, do that, you know, parts forming thing so it could collapse smaller to be, you know, shorter, to be tune accurate in robot mode. Like I said, this I think was a better choice in design because it cleans up much nicer. So you could see the way they handled that was really nice. And then, as always, look at this. The nice sculpted rims with the chrome plate and even the rubber tires with all those treads on there. This is really cool. But also, you could see here they have these hydraulics, which are real working hydraulics here. That's really cool. And then you could see the way they sculpted in all this arm for the shovel bucket. It's very realistic. And then you could see here the little lights, which are also painted. Yeah, and then I don't know what this is called, but you know, those are for stepping, you know, carrying like very heavy stuff. It should be silver. So you could say, oh yeah, this is nice, but it should be silver. No, I mean, obviously they're trying to go with the tune colors, which is why they put in this. If you could see and remember, that's the side hip skirt. That should be purple, not green. They just chose to do this, and I don't want to pick on them too much, but you know, if you want to do that, there's all kinds of different ways you could have designed it so the hip skirt could be purple and this could be green. But anyways, just pointing, they do a nice job with all this detail. And in terms of the detail, you open that up and look at this. This is what they always do. They focus on all this detail. So it has a seat and these control arms here on both sides. And then there is the steering wheel. And if you could see, they also sculpted in the dashboard to have all those controls, which is really nice. Functionally though, yeah, I think they could have executed this better, maybe putting a pin through this panel that has the steering wheel, because when you're transforming it and you have to get the tab to go underneath, which is difficult, such as like up here, you might accidentally push too hard or something and pop it out, just like I've seen other reviewers do. That's why you need to be slow and careful when you're manipulating X-Transbots figures. But anyways, just as far as the aesthetics and details, there's some more that they added. And then here, these smokestack, I don't know what this is, but you could see they did take the time to sculpt that. And this is functionally a problem when you're manipulating it, easily comes off. I still need to put the glue in here, but I'm just pointing out to show you they put a lot of thought, because look at, they used the keyhole design when they could have just simply used a regular post. But here they thought it out by putting the key design. They solved the problem of this like swiveling around and then trying to adjust it so it's facing the back. So this was actually really smart. And I'm pointing it out just to let you know, they really do take the time to think things through and put it out. But yeah, they need to do something in product design, which is the next step, which is product review. And then they would review all of these issues, and then they would put them on the sticky notes, and then they would come back, you know, for refinement. But that's something they don't do. But anyways, you could see that. And then the back, you could see, I don't know what these are, these grills or whatever. They sculpted that in really nice. They gave you rear tail lights, which are painted. So again, this is why I really love the alt mode. And X-Transbots, you know, they always do a great job, you know, with sculpting the figure, capturing the shape and proportions, and then they focus always on all this detail, which doesn't always work, just, you know, depends on their figure. But other times, like here, it does work really well. I didn't even point this out. Look at the details there. So, and look at the details here. So yeah, for those collectors who focus a lot on the details, that's not a bad thing. But I'm just saying that because if it doesn't have the details, it doesn't make it bad. That was my point. But it does look nice. So that's all the aesthetics. Now, functionally speaking, yeah, I mean, you could see it does roll, but this does not roll like a champ. And that's because I think this was a slight oversight, because the issue is not because I didn't tab it into the rectangle slots. It's because the screw going in here is like too small. So now you could see the wheels are going to go all wobbling around. And, you know, this was really an easy fix, an oversight. That's what I was telling you. They need to do more in product review, you know, because obviously this would have come up and this is an easy fix. They just need to use a bigger screw, and then this would now not be wobbling around. So yeah, functionally, this was a miss. And then since I'm talking about this, obviously, you know, in robot mode, this is an issue. This is a parts former, so you do need to take this off, put it on multiple times from robot to alt mode to the combined mode. And yeah, I'll just give you some tips. X-Transbots, as a product design consultant, I'll just tell you, if you want to use this design, then you need to use different plastic. Or actually, and I know you did this with other figures like their Preceptor, there are certain areas where you did use different type of plastic. So maybe this was an easy fix. Just for this shoulder joint, use a different type of plastic that will accommodate for this type of design that you had. Because this design is not a problem, I told you during the transformation, because a lot of people do it. It's just the issue is they use the type of plastic that's not strong enough to handle the stress and tension from bending. It's going to easily create hair fractures, and then over and over again, it's going to crack and break. So there's just one, you know, just suggestion as a consultant. But anyways, functionally speaking, it does not roll like a champ, so there is some issues, but it still rolls nice on some nice rubber wheels. And the cool thing here is this whole shovel bucket. So first of all, I pointed out that whether it's X-Transbots for another company, this design is going to be an issue because you're trying to get these two arms to move in sync with each other. So you need something to stabilize the symmetry of it. And it's only happening here from the joint on the nice clickety ratchet and here where it connects. The rest of this needs to be stronger, like, you know, if this was a real vehicle, that's why it's all metal. And here they actually did use some die cast here and die cast here. So again, they are trying to do their best to create good products. And here, I think they did a good job, because you could see with this nice ratchet, this does work. And then they also added this, the hydraulics, that's on a nice ratchet. That works really well. But right here, this joint, yeah, you need to be careful. And this is where I was telling you, these need to bend together. So this is where you can't really bend it here, bend it here. You need to try to get close to the center. So hopefully both of these will move in sync with each other. But you could see there's 3 points of articulation along with the hydraulics. So this is something Fans Toys didn't give you, because Fans Toys is focusing on, you know, the combined mode and other things like the tune accuracy, which theirs didn't really come out tune accurate. But yeah, this is done really well. So in terms of form and function, you know, it does roll. It just, this needs to have been fixed. It doesn't roll like a champ. And this is probably the best thing in terms of form and function. So yeah, this is done well. And I didn't go over the bottom. No one really looks at the bottom, but some people always point it out saying, look at all the kibble. That's just really dumb, because who looks at the bottom? Who poses their figures on the bottom? But anyways, just speaking to it, just to be very thorough, to point things out. Here, you know, the complicated transformation from robot flipping it over. I'm just letting you know the reason why, I think, is because they wanted to have these panels, these green panels for alt modes, because they wanted the back of Devastator to be green. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm just telling you my guess, trying to understand why they designed it that way. But anyways, as a consequence, this is exposed here, this little gray piece. But anyways, I don't want to go rambling. Hopefully you already know how I feel about the alt mode. This, I think, is done really well. And I don't like doing comparisons and stuff, but yeah, compared to the Fans Toys, which I'm not going to bring out to transform, but you know, some people already posted some comparisons, like the Chosen Prime. They brought it out and you could see the difference. And to keep it very short, you know, not to pick on Fans Toys, but something's gonna suffer. Fans Toys alt mode does suffer because of the nice way they engineered the transformation. So, you know, it's not a parts former. It is tune accurate with the green shoulders, not the tires on the shoulders. And that's not to pick on X-Transbots. It's just the difference, the way they designed it differently. Yeah, its point is X-Transbots alt mode looks better. And then the Mastermind Creations, I'll just tell you in short, yeah, that there's things that doesn't look as good as the X-Transbots. For me, those tires just stand out. I mean, that's kind of like a stylized tires. I mean, it's not tune accurate or it's not realistic. So yeah, the tires are off. And then there are other things that are off with the Mastermind Creations. And you just have to take into consideration that is a all-in-one. So they're taking on a huge challenge trying to make it all-in-one, not a parts former. But anyways, I don't want to ramble on. So here's a look at the X-Transbots in its vehicle construction alt mode. And you could see this is really nice. Oh, and yeah, I want to take up a little bit more of your time because I wanted to point out another feature. I mean, it doesn't come with X-Transbots. These are the KFC Energon cubes. And look at this. I don't know if X-Transbots perfectly measured this, but you can see that you can get all 3 cubes in here. And it's having a little difficulty. I think this is the only exception. The stacked cubes might be just maybe 1 millimeter too big, because you could see they measured this. I don't know if they did it on purpose. I think they did, so that this can hold all 3 of the cubes. So you can really get a lot more fun in the alt mode here with these Energon cubes. And just making it clear again why I said I want to keep it in the alt mode. It's because you can't appreciate all of these things in robot mode, especially the detail there. You can only appreciate it in alt mode. So also, to take up more of your time, that's why long haul is staying in alt mode. And you could see, dude, this looks really awesome. And this is just building that anticipation for all 6 Constructicons by X-Transbots. Oh man, I am just really excited because this is the best mode, is alt mode. I mean, robot mode looks really good too. It's just this one I think looks a little bit better, and this is happening because I chose not to put it in the slot yet. I'm not 100% committed with the tires yet, but you could see this looks great. Now I just, come on, bring out the other 4. And the next one most likely is probably going to be Hook. And yeah, now we'll start getting a closer look at with the Devastator. I already, plain and simple, I'm sorry, I already know that's not gonna work out. But it'd be interesting just to see what it will look like and to see how they're trying to fix problems. I mean, you already know they're trying to fix some of the problems that they are aware of, such as the, with that gray, support to keep this from wobbling back. But anyways, instead of rambling, you could see this is Scrapper in his alt mode, and he does look fantastic. So now we can bring the parts forming pieces for Devastator and attach it to Scrapper's alt mode to replicate that, G1 look. And there's basically 2 ways to do this. You could just simply, not simply, attach this and then put this on top with these smokestacks. Or you can do the partial transformation for Devastator by, flipping these overs, which you have to go through a lot of work by untabbing these arms, and then pushing the canopy open, and then separating the bottom so that you could split this out at an A stand. So then you can start folding up all of this just to have room to flip this over on both sides, and then you need to put it all back together again. But the simple easy way, actually, you could see there's a cutout, and that's for the rear lights here, which is on this type of plastic, and it's thin, so you have to be careful because it's not as simple as just put this in. You follow those instructions. What if you hit it like this with force? You might break it. So that's why, I'm taking the time to explain things very clearly, that you need to be aware of all of these things. So you need to slowly and carefully, not just here, it's on both sides. So you need to get this symmetrical as you can and simply get it open, but make sure that these are open, and then you slide it in, make sure it's on both sides carefully, and then give it a good squeeze, and then you could simply fold that down. It doesn't tab in, but it does tab in here. And the same thing, because of the type of plastic, you just want to use caution, just leverage it from the center. And then now we have that attached. After that, here now you could see there is a cutout. That's for this little nub here. And you just have to be careful because of the smokestack. Just line them up, and it just should simply sit on top like so. And then there's actually the tab, that purple tab right here in between. So you need to get it all safely lined up. And then it just sits on there, not on tight friction, not on loose friction, but it's just good enough. And then now you could see you have that G1 look. If you wanted to store these Devastator parts on Scrapper's alt mode. But yeah, I don't like that look. I mean, I intend to keep it in alt mode, but yeah, I need to do this carefully. I am just gonna simply store this away in a bag. So now just simply the reverse, just simply carefully take this off and put this back in. And then now we have Scrapper back in his alt mode. And like I said, there is the other way you can attach it, which is the partial Devastator's leg mode transformation. I did record the video, but then, that's just taking up more of your time, like some people commented. So yeah, I'm not gonna show you that. But I'm just letting you know, you can do that, and you do need to do all of that transformation for the leg mode. But anyways, this is a look at the alt mode. It's nice, like everything I pointed out. So now we can transform Scrapper from his alt mode to his combined leg mode and take a look at that.
To be continued.